friends. Well, welcome to an all-new 2022 edition of Good Morning Huntsville here on Facebook Live on the KSAM pages. I'm Rob Hipp, your host, along with my first co-host of our new show here that's going to be taking place, Dr. Curtis Pressley. What's going on, Dr. Pressley?
How you doing, Rob? Appreciate you having me, man.
I always say I'm blessed more than I deserve,
That's
man.
right.
So,
exactly.
Well, hey, we're hanging out here today at Huntsville Family Dental. You guys just located right off 45. I've had the blessing of working with y'all for a couple of years now. Samantha has been incredible. Our good friend Nicole is here in the background today, just kind of making sure that everything's rocking and rolling. But excited, man. This show is all about the good happening in Huntsville, and we're going to feature this periodically throughout the month. So you're going to be on with me twice a month, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
yeah.
we're going to have fun. It's going to be a blessing to the community. And, most importantly, we're going to talk about all the good things happening here in Huntsville. But also, as you as a co-host, I'm going to meet with you twice a month. There's going to be some opportunities for you, starting today, talking a little bit about dental. And I know people are already like, God, man, I want to talk dental this morning, man. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Right. But it's always good to get up early, man.
That's right.
Get your teeth fixed early in the morning so you can relax on that. What was it, Vicodin? What do they put? What do y'all do for painkillers?
That's one of them.
That'll put you to sleep the rest of the
exactly.
day. So, but again, Dr. Pressley here, and I want to encourage people too. There's a lot of folks already joining us on the social media feed, so please let us know you're out there. Let us know you're listening this morning. We're going to talk to Dr. Pressley this morning, and then we're going to touch base on a few things happening throughout Huntsville, and we're just going to have fun. That's what it's all about, man.
Sounds good, man.
So, Dr. Pressley, tell us a little bit about you, man. I know we had a chance to catch up yesterday, but a family man. You told me you were 21 years old, and
many moons ago.
Yeah. So,
many moons ago.
Just kind of tell me a little bit about your journey before dental, man, because you were a track star back in the day. Kind of go through that journey and let us know about you, man.
Yeah, so, grew up in South Carolina. I went to University of South Carolina, was a track athlete. Reason for going to college, I got a track scholarship. So I had an opportunity to represent my country, running track as well as my university. Was an All-American, and decided to look at dentistry as a possible career, and did that, and here I am. So I moved out here probably about 15 years ago. So been out here ever since. I always tell people I'm not a Texan, but I got out here as soon as I could.
That's good, man. Yes, sir. And you got a family, beautiful children. Tell us a little bit about your family, man.
Well, I have a wife, Erica, and I have 2 kids, Cullen and Callie. They're 6 and 8. So third grade and first grade, and they're at that age where it's a lot of fun. You start to see their personalities come through, and it's just a lot of fun just being a dad and being present every day and just hanging out with those guys.
Well, I appreciate you, man, because I showed up yesterday. I've never shown up to a meeting before with my baby, and I'm trying to figure out.
Braylon.
Yeah, Braylon. See, you're good at names, man. Come on, man. That's what I'm. See, Dr. Pressley is good with names. I'm in radio, so I should know names, and I forget people's names. There's guys that I've been playing basketball with, to be honest, probably for 5-6 years back in the day, and I didn't even know their name. In fact, I was playing at a Baptist church back in the day, and Dr. John Duncan. And Dr. Duncan, you used to watch this show when I had it in Georgetown, so I know you may be on this morning. But I was playing basketball with that dude for years, and he was the pastor of that church, and I had no idea.
Really?
So I didn't go to the church there, and I just remember one day, man, sometimes you're playing, and I try to be happy and positive, but every once in a while you cringe your teeth, and maybe that word slips out, and a bad word slipped out on church property in the gym of the Baptist church. And I remember telling Dr. Duncan, probably don't remember this, but I remember finding out that he was the pastor after a few years. I said, "Are you the pastor here?" He goes, "Oh, yes, sir." And because I always called him man. And I said, "Did you ever hear me say anything?" He goes, "No, it's all good. Don't worry about it." So, well, again,
let you off the hook.
You let me off the hook, man. Well, we're here at Huntsville Family Dental this morning here in Huntsville. And, again, just so many great things happening, not only in the community but here. And maybe this morning, too, it's a good opportunity to maybe calm some nerves about dental. And so, really at the first part of this show, I wanted to educate our audience just on dental and how it works and why it's so important, because you and I were talking yesterday, and I didn't know until a few years ago that what happens with your teeth can affect your heart, man.
Well, definitely.
So talk a little bit about
definitely.
that.
And what you're referring to is, periodontal disease and the bacteria that's involved when you have gum disease. And basically, these bacteria, they can travel in your bloodstream and end up in your heart and affect the valves and cause inflammation in the valves of your heart. So there's a direct correlation between oral health and overall health. And so I always say that dentists are the frontline physicians, meaning that we see a lot of diseases that manifest themselves first in the mouth. So dentistry is very important to your overall health, and it's very important taking care of your oral health.
it was a while back. I had some work done on my teeth, and look, I'm just going to be honest, because I know there's some of y'all out there this morning that are already thinking, like, what's he going to talk about? And you know that you got bad teeth. I had some bad teeth, man, and it's embarrassing. It really is. And so I'm sitting there, and I remember one morning, like you start feeling something in your teeth, and you use your tongue, and you're kind of like down there, and people probably thought I had a dip in, man, because I'm sitting here with my tongue down on my lower lip, like, what is going on, man? And I just remember I felt something like a crack in my tooth. And I was like, man, I haven't been flossing for a long time. So if I was around you and you notice, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. And I'm being honest with people, because there's people out there today that are the same way.
That's right.
They just don't talk about it. I open up about it. And so I'm sitting there, man, and I felt this in my tooth. And I kept kind of licking around, and I was like, it's kind of sharp. And I thought for sure my tooth had cracked.
Yeah.
And I went in, and it wasn't a crack. You know what it was, man?
What was that?
A plaque.
Wow. Build up.
Yeah, and I hadn't had my teeth cleaned in such a long time, and
Right.
and it's so amazing, because once you get that done and then you start flossing, it actually feels good.
It's better. Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that, and just why it's so important to keep your teeth clean, why it's important to floss, because a lot of people don't floss, man.
Exactly. So I mean, when you're brushing your teeth, obviously you're brushing the fronts, the backs of those teeth, but nothing is getting in between those teeth, and a lot of times the bacteria congregates in between the teeth, and a lot of times periodontal disease starts there. And so also we see dental caries starting in between the teeth. So flossing is very important. Not only is it going to keep the buildup down, but it's going to also keep the caries down in between the teeth.
And how do you, kiddos especially, I think it's a way. I heard a message this morning on the way in, that things are passed down from generation to generation.
Exactly.
And as a parent, I think it's very, and I'm a new parent now, right, man? So I want to make sure that I'm taking care of my baby, that everything's good. She don't have any teeth yet.
Right.
But when she does, I want to make sure that I take care of her teeth. So maybe there's a parent out there today, and they said, you know what, man, I struggle because my parents didn't teach me how to keep up with my teeth. Right. And my teeth aren't good, but I want to make sure that I take care of my kids. What advice do you have for parents out there, just how they can get their kids comfortable in being in dental health and hygiene?
Well, the first thing is just helping your kid. I mean, even with Braylon, with no teeth now, even though she doesn't have any teeth, what you want to be doing is wiping those gums. Take that wash rag and you're wiping those gums. What it's going to do is get that bacteria off the gums, and also get her used to you being in her mouth.
I didn't even think about that, man.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So, as they go along, you're helping these guys. You're helping your kids. We still have nightly brushing at my house at 6 and 8. So, it's all about just helping your kids and conveying that message to your kids about oral health and how important it is. So
I'm going to educate our audience, because there's people out there, you always hear of, like, you talk the talk, you walk the walk. Well, Dr. Pressley is the dentist. I come in this morning, he's grubbing on something. And what did he do right before we went on? He's in there walking down the hall brushing his teeth,
right?
Man. So not only are you talking the talk, you're walking the walk, man. So again, Dr. Pressley here this morning with Good Morning Huntsville, and Samantha Morrow joining us in this morning saying, yay, Dr. Pressley. Appreciate you, Samantha. Again, a lot of folks joining us on our social media feed. Sometimes folks are a little bit shy and they don't want to say hello, but start thinking of the questions that you may have this morning to share with Doctor, because I know some of you out there this morning are concerned. You've got some issues, some things that maybe you want to ask. So think about those questions and send them to us on our social media feed. Again, talking a little bit more about Huntsville Family Dental, there's a lot of choices when it comes to choosing a dental provider. What would you say is maybe one or two things that kind of sets you guys apart from other folks as far as how you care for your patients?
Well, first of all, you want to, when you're looking at a dentist, you want to pick one that's knowledgeable, obviously, and also one that's personable. Somebody that's approachable, a team that's approachable, from the front desk to the assistants and to the doctor. So, you gotta realize you're gonna be entrusting these people with your oral health, your smile. So you have to feel comfortable with these individuals. A doctor that stays up on the latest technology, that's good. Digital radiography, things like that. Those are the main things.
There's people are always worried about x-rays, and they think, oh man, x-rays are going to harm me. But I've heard some stories that dental x-rays aren't near as powerful.
No.
Tell us a little bit about that.
You get more radiation by going outside to your car than you get from especially with the new technology and radiography. You get less radiation than you do walking outside. So there's not really a fear of being over radiated or anything like that. So it's very, very safe. That's not a concern even for us that deal with it every day. We take x-rays on patients every day, so we're exposed every day.
I think a lot of the dental fear comes just from so many people talking about it. Social media has a way of just spreading everything, and one person talks about it, and then everybody else talks about it, and they think, oh man, it's so. I've been to the dentist a lot, and especially recently, and to the orthodontist as well, getting my teeth worked on. I had to have my bicuspids pulled. I had to have all my wisdom teeth, and I was nervous just because of what I'd heard from other people.
Yeah.
But then once I actually sat down in that chair, and what is it, lidocaine or whatever they pop you with,
yes, sir,
or whatever you guys pop us with, I didn't feel anything. So maybe there's somebody out there this morning that's fearing going to the dentist. I think that's one of the top fears when you talk to a lot of people. How do you calm those anxieties, and what would you tell to anybody out there this morning that's watching saying, man, I'm scared of going to the dentist?
Well, I would say that it's a necessary thing. It's very important, and there's some things in life where you are going to be fearful. You have to take that step. Once you take that step, it's gonna benefit you overall, and that's what we're trying to do as providers, especially here at Huntsville. We want to try to transform people's thinking about the dentist. I know a lot of people have had bad experiences in the past, and like you said, generation thing. We pass these fears down to our kids, so we want to change the perspective. We want to get people in the door, make them feel good, so that they transcend positive messages to their children in generations and generations.
That's so good. Well, one thing that I normally ask folks when I interview them, Dr. Pressley, is I'll ask them, what is some things that you've had to go through that may have been challenging or that have been tough. I'm not going to ask that to a dentist because we don't want to put any more anxiety on anybody. So I'm going to flip the script and be positive this morning about it. What is something that maybe you've seen in your career so far that has brought you the most joy with a patient? I know that's one that you got to think a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good one. One of the main things for me, I guess in dental school, one of the experiences I had was going on a dental missions trip. And so, obviously, choosing this career, I always wanted to help people. But going down to the Dominican Republic a couple of times and being able to see those people in need and them lining up, and just waiting for hours and hours just to be seen, who didn't have access to care. It just kind of changed my perspective coming back here and practicing, and just, really just kind of lit a fire in me about, helping people, and just kind of rejuvenated me. So that was one of my most positive experiences early on in my career, not even as a dentist, before I became a dentist, when I was in my study. So see, I think that's important because you kind of get me thinking, man, and I like to be inspirational and lift people up and encourage them when they're going through things. And some days we wake up, man, and we're down and out because maybe things at the job ain't going the way that we hoped, or maybe we didn't get that house, maybe we didn't get that car that we've been hoping for. That old country song, "The bank finally came through on a brand new Chevrolet." You always know it's a good show when we start singing, man. But you know what? The thing is, though, we wake up in the morning and we got so much to be thankful for. That's right.
You and I are sitting here talking this morning. No matter what else that we're going through, we are here, we're alive, and we're breathing. And you brought up a good point going on that dental mission trip, because you go to a country to where people don't have access to this. Explain a little bit more about that and just how important that is that we wake up and being thankful, because, again, you go to some place where people don't have access to water. They don't have access to brushing their teeth. We take that for granted every morning, man.
We do. And that's what it's all about. A lot of times we get focused on what we don't have, and instead of just being thankful for what we do have. And like I say, being down there and seeing the need and seeing the lack of access to care, it just really, it just really changed my perspective, man. So
just those things, and it's amazing to see that and to know that you're making a difference. And I didn't know, a dental mission trip, I didn't know that they had those. Yeah. Talk a little bit about just your schooling and people out there. There may be a young person today, man. There may be somebody that's 80 years old that says, I want to be a dentist. You're never too old to start. Talk a little bit about your education and just what that was like, man. And it's tough. It's not easy. It's
not easy. Luckily, I was. I think it's all about the exposure that you get. So even as a young boy, my dentist, he allowed me and his sons and his daughter to come in the office and just kind of follow him around, and we just follow him around, see what he did. But that exposure drew an interest in dentistry for me. And so that's what it's all about. So going into dental school, obviously, yes, it was very, very, very hard. But, it taught me work ethic. It taught me perseverance because, like you said, not every day was a good day. You had setbacks. And that's the thing about life. You're going to have setbacks, but you just keep going. If it's your passion, you keep going.
That's right, man. Somebody out there today needed to hear that. We're going to step aside. It's been fun here in this first segment. We're going to take a quick break. We're at 8:26 here in East Texas. I like to say down here in East Texas. So we'll be back in a little bit. Stay with us. We've got some questions coming in. Bridget has some questions. Sally has some questions. We're going to get to those in just a little bit, but you got to hold on. You know, that's how we got to keep you on the hook. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Dr. Curtis Pressley. We'll be back here in just a few moments. Stay with us, friends. All right, friends, back at it here. We are live this morning at Huntsville Family Dental. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Dr. Curtis Pressley. We've been having some fun this morning learning about dental health. I want to remind you also this show is powered by KSAM as we're on the social media feeds, but KSAM Radio, make sure you tune in if you're in Huntsville, Texas, 101.7 FM KSAM, and also KHVL, The Hits. Dr. Pressley, we had some questions come in. I've talked about those here in just a few moments. My fiance, I'm going to get to her first. Got to take care of Mama. She's messaging in. And let me see something here, Dr. Pressley. Hold on, man. Let me try to switch something really quick. I've been having some issues with a little static. There we go, man. We go. You know that. Hey, but that's, you know what, man. We all have a little static in our life, and all you got to do is switch the channel. That's it. There you go. See, that's why that static was there, man. So, Dr. Pressley, having some fun this morning. First question, in kind of a statement here, and then a question. Bridget was saying you only get one set of adult teeth. Take care of it, then it will pay off in the long run. So explain a little bit more about that, man, because I don't think people realize. These things are with you, man. Your adult teeth, that's it. You're done. Right.
And there's no substitute for what God has made. You know, even in the advances that we have, the technology that we have in dentistry with implants, all of that is great, but you want to try to maintain, the objective is to maintain your natural dentition for as long as you can.
You got to be careful with them. And, you know, it's weird because even as I'm sitting here in 5th grade, when do your adult teeth come in? How old are you usually?
Usually your first adult tooth comes in around 6.
Around 6 years old.
So usually about 12, 13, you got pretty much your full set of adult teeth.
So by and you lose what? 2? You lose the baby teeth and then the first set. So is it 3 sets, I guess?
No, you have 2 sets.
Two
you
sets.
Have deciduous teeth and then you have the adult teeth. That's it.
Man.
After that.
And those adult teeth, are they already like in there growing? How does that work? I've always been fascinated by that.
They are already formed. And so they're just kind of waiting there, and then the position of the baby teeth holds that position for the permanent teeth. So they're already formed.
Are they already full size?
No, sir.
Okay, I was about to say, man.
They're still forming, but the buds are already there.
Wow.
The cells are already there.
So. Yeah, because I thought about that. I said, man, what if there was like a full tooth and that thing came early, and then all of a sudden you got like them little cartoon pictures of the little baby with that big bug tooth, the huge one, man, like the size of your thumbnail. So we don't want any of that, man. Again, Dr. Pressley, so talking about that, take care of your adult set of teeth, friends. Maybe, and look, explain this too, because it's never too late to get started. I think some people, they worry because they've got gingivitis and their teeth are so far gone that they think there's no hope for me. There is hope. Someone today is watching and they're thinking about that. Tell that person there is hope, and how can you overcome that, Dr. Pressley?
There's never too late to start taking care of your health, and or your oral health is part of your overall health. And you know, that's the thing. What we do here is we take you as you are, and we come up with a plan. We listen to your concerns, what you want to do, what we suggest you should do, and then we go from there. So it's never too late to take care of your oral care. And
again, that transitions down to heart problems and those things, and
it's all related.
Yeah, and I've known people that are in their 60s and 70s that their teeth haven't been that great, and they said, I'm not going to go to the dentist. I'm embarrassed.
Right.
But you got to think about your quality of life too. You can't be embarrassed. You can't be upset because you've got a life to live.
That's right.
And no matter where your teeth are at, get those teeth fixed. Look, man, they've got implants and those kind of things, and those work. And that kind of leads into the next question, because this maybe gets a little more cosmetic, although this one isn't. Bridget also asking, at the dentist, do you do wisdom teeth extraction?
Yes, so we do some wisdom teeth extractions, but we're luckily that we work with a great oral surgeon that is in our area. So if those wisdom teeth are impacted, meaning they're up under the gums and the bone, they're sideways, they're going different directions, we can refer you to an oral surgeon. But we are able to handle some wisdom teeth in office here.
I was worried. I had my wisdom teeth taken out in my early 20s in preparation for getting braces. I didn't get braces till I was like 27, man. It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
I was in the IT business, so it kind of fit the mantra. I was that computer nerd, man, but it worked out. But I remember getting my wisdom teeth out, and I was really nervous at first, Dr. Pressley, because again, all the horror stories and the things.
Right.
Back then, it wasn't Facebook, it was MySpace, man. Everybody was friends with Tom, and if you're a little bit older, Nicole's over here, she didn't know Tom, but we knew Tom if we were on MySpace. Everybody was friends with Tom, and I remember seeing on MySpace people, the dentist, and I'm worried about this, and it's horrible, and I've heard this. Man, I went in and it was nothing. In fact, I remember coming out of it. And I had a really good oral surgeon there in Georgetown. Here's a funny story, though. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the movie?
Yeah.
Their dental office, their oral surgeon office was that house from the movie.
Oh, God.
So if you want to put, like, bad and bad together, we're sitting here thinking, like, okay, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm going to the oral surgeon. That house was the house.
The actual house.
The actual house. They fixed it up, renovated it, moved it to Georgetown, and that was their surgeon office, man. So, I'm thinking worst case scenario, they're going to bring a chainsaw out, knock me out, and then cut my teeth out. That wasn't it. But I'll never forget, man, my dad took me, and man, I came out of that, and I was like preaching to the lady, man, because I was so.
You were sedated.
I was
obviously.
sedated, yeah. And she goes, yeah, you were like spitting out Bible. I said, I don't even know, but like 3 Bible verses, man. And she was like, you're reading the whole Bible to me off the top of your head. I said, well, thank goodness, man. I got something imprinted in my heart. Then,
right.
Man. So, be careful. Take somebody good with you when you go to the dentist and you get under. Because if that would have been in today's world, that probably would have been on social media.
That's right.
Back then, we didn't have these phones where it was so easy to hit a recording. So you always got to. Someone's always watching, man. So yeah, that answers the question about wisdom teeth extraction. Let's get to some more here. My good friend and my neighbor, Miss Sally Hosea, said, "What is the first procedures consist of?" I am one of those people who had a bad experience with a dentist. Doctor, I'll let you take that one, man.
Yeah, so your first visit, you're coming in, we're meeting you, we're listening to all your concerns, things that you've been dealing with. We're taking a full set of x-rays, we're taking full pictures of your teeth, coming up with a comprehensive treatment plan so that we can kind of get you going. Next visit most likely will be your cleaning, and then we start the restorative work if you need any restorative work.
And Sally, if you're still listening, Sally, when you said you had a bad experience with a dentist, what if you don't mind sharing, what was that bad experience? Because maybe we can have an answer to that as well. You don't say the dentist, but just let us know, maybe what the experience was, and we can go from there. I mean, what do you typically hear from patients who walk in, Dr. Pressley, that are, what do you hear from them when they come through the door that have maybe hadn't been to the dentist in a long time?
As far as the bad experiences they've had?
Yeah. What have you heard?
Just being in pain in the chair, and that's one of the things that I've gone on to continuing education for dental anxiety and pain management, and I want to make sure that my patients they do not have pain in the chair. So you having pain? Hey, we give you more anesthetic. We stop. We come back.
Yeah, and I know it's like a local anesthetic.
It's a local.
But there are options for somebody who's maybe very anxious. Can you completely knock them out?
So here we do a conscious sedation. So if you want to do the IV sedation, we will be referring you to a specialist. But the conscious sedation works pretty well. You're conscious, but you are sedated. We still use a local anesthetic along with that. But it's a great tool for the apprehensive patient or the overly anxious patient. And we tend to offer that, especially for extractions, any kind of dental procedure that you might have anxiety about.
And I want to encourage people because, like I said, I was one of those that was nervous about going. And, man, I started going so many times. I actually looked forward to going. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I never once experienced any major pain. I think the thing that was the most nerve-wracking at first was especially when they're pulling teeth, like you hear stuff and you can feel it, but it's not bad. Right. It's not bad, man. It's like when you're a kid and you're out there running barefoot on rocks. You can do it back then. It feels weird, but you can do it. It didn't hurt, and so that's kind of how I describe that a little bit. So any more questions that are coming in, let us know. Our good friend Jen is also joining us, saying, awesome, Dr. Pressley. She wanted to say hello to you this morning. Sarah Martinez also chiming in, saying hello to you this morning. And a good buddy of mine, he actually used to be one of my co-hosts back in Georgetown. Joshua Harris has a facility called the Oak Ridge Disciple House. He's joining in saying, sounding great, and thanks for all the great information, Doc. So we'll step aside. Again, if you've got some more of those questions coming in, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll get to a few more of those questions. We're at 8:37 in the morning. We'll go till about 9 or so. So keep those questions going. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to throw some trivia at you, too, in a little bit, man. Okay. I wanted to do a little Valentine's trivia, but we're already past Valentine's Day, man. So we'll find some trivia. We're going to have some fun, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on here throughout Huntsville. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville with Rob Hipp and also our good friend and co-host, Dr. Curtis Pressley of Huntsville Family Dental. We'll be back in just a few moments. Again, don't go anywhere. Stay with us. All right, friends, back at it here from Huntsville Family Dental. We are live. I'm Rob Hipp, Dr. Curtis Pressley, and we are having a lot of fun here this morning, chatting, talking about dental health. I know everybody woke up this morning saying, I just can't wait to talk about my teeth. I'm so happy. And we're going to make teeth a lot of fun. Waking up this morning, well, if you're just now waking up and you were supposed to be at work at 8 o'clock, guess what? You're late. You might be fired.
You're late.
64 degrees and overcast, a little bit of rain in the forecast today, and then especially tonight we'll jump up to about a 50% chance of those showers, a low of 64. It's been a little bit hot. My fiance and I, we've been blessed. We just got a new little house here in Huntsville, and you had to turn on the AC last night, man. It was like it got up to 72 in the house.
We're getting a cold front today, though.
Yeah, that's coming in, and it's gonna drop down tomorrow morning. 31. Do you like the cold or the hot better?
I'm in Texas, so I prefer the hot.
See, I like the cold, man, because it's easier. Bridget and I, we keep the house at like 62 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but we can't do that anymore. When the baby starts turning blue a little bit, we got to. She did not do that, by the way, guys. But you got to keep the house a little bit warmer when you got the baby. So yeah, it's going to get down to about 31 coming up tomorrow night, and then Friday only going to be 55. But I was thinking about this too, Dr. Pressley, just how blessed we are, because you go back a year ago and we were under ice,
oh my gosh,
cold.
yes.
How did y'all, from you and just your family, how did you get through that, man? It was tough for a lot of folks. Did y'all lose power?
Fortunately, we did not.
Oh, that's good.
But a lot of our friends did. They had pipes that were busting. It was just a really hard time for Texas. It was very unexpected. It just came out of nowhere. So
it was we were looking, and on the Weather Service, I've never seen this. There's 254 counties in the state of Texas.
Wow.
254. And every single county, and I screenshotted it and put it out on Twitter, every single county at one point was under a winter storm warning. From El Paso to Beaumont, from Brownsville to Amarillo, man. All the entire state. Now, I know people that are north of Amarillo, they're like, you forgot about us. Sorry, I don't know what's north of Amarillo, all right? I'm sorry. If you're from Amarillo, good morning to you. I'll be up from San Antonio, all right? But again, Dr. Pressley here. We are down here at Huntsville Family Dental. We have a couple more questions. We're going to get to those. My good buddy joining in this morning, Mr. Taylor Fulbright, saying, good morning, fellas. Good to hear from you, Taylor. Samantha Morrow messaging saying, and this is a good question. Samantha, thank you for sending this in. She says, what is the environment like in the dental office?
This dental office?
This dental office. Because if you say we could talk about others,
that's
you
right.
don't know.
That's right.
But this dental office, what's it about, man? What's the environment like?
We try to come off as a family practice, and that's what we are. We want to build long-lasting relationships that go for generation and generation. We don't want to see you one time and never see you again. We want you coming back. We want you bringing your kids here. We want their kids bringing their kids here. So the environment here is very friendly, very warm, very inviting. And so, that doesn't just start with me. That starts with my wonderful, amazing staff that I have. And I'm so blessed to have a good staff. And I think that's where it starts.
Well, you're right on the money, because when I walked in here, everyone so friendly, so nice. I met two of the young ladies this morning that were out there that got here around 7:30 to open up today. And it all starts with a good staff and a good culture. And you can feel that. When you walk into a building, you can feel if it's good butter or bad butter.
Exactly.
Good butter is that butter that you can slice with a knife and it tastes good. Bad butter, you don't want to eat bad butter, man. That's like the old moldy toast. Right. It's good butter here with a little cinnamon on it here at Huntsville Family Dental.
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
I don't know how I don't come up with these analogies, and people are like, dude, would you please be quiet, man? It's that good cinnamon butter. You know what it was? I took Bridget out for a steak dinner, man, over at, I won't say the name because they ain't a sponsor. That's why you got a sponsor. But a very good steakhouse in Montgomery. And they have the best rolls with some of that cinnamon butter.
Cinnamon butter.
So we're going to make T-shirts. They're going to go on sale. You can pick them up at KSAM. Cinnamon butter. Just kidding. You won't be able to get them. But Dr. Pressley, another question here that Samantha, we're just having too much fun, man. Samantha sent another question here, and another good one. Do y'all offer teeth whitening or Invisalign or anything cosmetic for someone wanting to be more competent? And I'm going to expand on that, but I'll let you answer that question first.
Yeah, absolutely. So we offer all three: teeth whitening, Invisalign, and cosmetic dentistry. Invisalign is basically a set of clear aligners that allows you to correct malaligned teeth without the aid of brackets and wires, which people, in the industry, you have a job. A lot of adults don't want to walk around with brackets and wires, so we provide that option to straighten your teeth without having to do traditional ortho. Obviously, we do teeth whitening here in the office, and as well as cosmetic dentistry, veneers, cosmetic crowns, things of that nature. So we try to provide everything that we can to try to improve your smile and to make that better.
Talking about teeth whitening, there's a lot of the at-home kits. I've tried them. I don't think they really work too well. Maybe it's because I'm not consistent with it.
Some are pretty good.
What goes into that process? Because I think there's some people that are even nervous about that because you see pictures on social media. I tried this whitener, and then they got like a line across their teeth.
Yeah.
What goes into that process? I mean, how does it work? And what does that little blue light do, man? What does that thing do? What's that all about, man?
It's a chemical reaction that whitens your teeth. But the thing about, I always tell people about bleaching, it's not one of those things you have to do that you do one time and then you're bleached. Everything affects the shade of our teeth when they're drinking coffee, wine, everything. So bleaching is a continuous process. So I always tell people that, when you bleach once, you have to continually bleach.
Just keep it going. Yeah,
exactly.
And it's weird because I'll hear some people that say when they do that, they get pain from
some
it.
Sensitivity. There is some sensitivity. Everybody's different. Some people can bite into ice cream with their front teeth. Some people don't even try it. So everybody's different. It's just basically gauging on what is comfortable for you. And that's kind of how we approach bleaching.
Well, Samantha talked about the confidence, and I think that is really important because if you go back to my pictures before I was like 26 or so, It was around, I guess it was around actually like 24, 25 when I got braces. I got them later though.
Okay.
But if you go back to pictures from before I got braces, I was never smiling. And people were like, why don't you smile? And I was like this. You know what I'm saying? Like these kind of smiles. That's why like we're not on radio, so you can see it on video. I was just like this. How y'all doing? You know, kind of like that, man.
Right,
you know, but I, in all seriousness, I was afraid to smile. And I bite into a hamburger, and I was joking around with y'all yesterday, but it's serious business. Like, you know, when you normally bite, it looks like a crescent moon into a sandwich. Man, mine looked like it was crookeder than a senator, man. It was all jacked up all over the place, man, you know. But it was the confidence thing to go back to being serious, because I realized when I started smiling more that I felt better about myself. And it's okay to feel good. You know, sometimes people say, man, we get so wrapped up in how we feel about ourselves. But I always say this. You hear the phrase, the grass is greener on the other side. You know what, though? I agree with some of that, but I also believe that you got to take care of your own grass first. You got to water your grass. You got to take care of it. If you can't take care of your own grass or your own yard first, how are you going to take care of anybody else's?
That's right.
And so I think that whenever you go through that process of just being confident and getting your teeth fixed, like I did, and it was a long process, man. It took like 4 years, but when I came out of it, I was smiling all the time, you know?
Right, exactly.
So, and I wish that they would have had like the Invisalign option then. It wasn't as well known. So I'd go around joking around saying I got brisket in my braces, because I ate a lot of brisket, man. I get the brisket in my braces. So you know what I'm saying, Doctor? Another question here for Samantha. We got a few more too. We're going to get to those. Samantha also chiming in saying, do you like working in Huntsville, man? In Huntsville, Texas. That's where we're at. So do you like working in Huntsville?
I love working in Huntsville, Texas. I come from a small town in South Carolina, so I see a lot of similarities of Huntsville from the small town that I grew up in, South Carolina. There's a strong family core values there. And also Huntsville is very inviting. You know, with the university having tons of people from all over. So, I mean, Huntsville is a small family town, and it's right up my alley.
It's a great place to be, a great place to live, and I've enjoyed it, man. You know, being here and being blessed to be the voice of the Bearcats, and then also working with Huntsville ISD and broadcasting their sports. It has been one of the best places. And I love my hometown. So my Georgetown people, I love you. I ain't forgot about you. I'll still come visit. That's my hometown. There's ain't nothing like your hometown.
That's right.
But I will tell you that if you were looking for a community that rivals, you know, for me, how I grew up in a small town atmosphere where everybody was waving, man, Huntsville is it. And I still, maybe I'm gonna jinx it, I'm gonna knock on wood, but I still have not met in 3 years one person that has been rude to me in this community. But I will say this though too, and this is part of that inspiration that I talk about, Dr. Pressley. If you're looking for negativity in your life, you're gonna find it. And I was talking to Bridget about this, and she's still watching. She'll probably even say something. But, man, the past few days, I've just had like this negative aurora around me, man. And what it is stress. We get so wrapped up in the stress of life that we talked earlier, man, about how you went over to other countries and help, you know, folks that didn't have access to dental procedures. Yeah. We get so wrapped up in our everyday life that we take things for granted. And so I'm sitting here stressed out over, man, I don't have time to do this, and I'm worried about this and that. But the reality is, man, it's all good. It's all good. I heard a message one time, and Bridget, she harps on me about this because she don't like it. She likes it, but I always say it too much. But I heard the message, and it was all is well.
All is well.
And I say it every day now when I wake up, man. And through that negative season the past few days, I woke up this morning and I said, you know what, man, I'm going to have a better attitude about today. That's right. I got a baby. I got a great lady. We got a roof over our head. I was able to put my feet on the ground. All is well.
All is well.
So, you know, I encourage people just to think about that. Joshua Harris, we were talking earlier about, you know, babies getting too cold. He said no blue babies. That's right, Joshua. Nobody has any time for that, man. We're going to keep it warm in the house. Bridget, another great question here from Bridget. She said, what age would be recommended for baby's first dentist appointment? That's a good question. Great question, sweetheart.
6 months. Bring them in when they don't have any teeth. So we can get so there's one thing in Texas they're called the first dental home, where you bring a kid in 6 months, and basically you're just educating the parent. That's basically what the visit's about. You're educating the parent on foods that the baby should be eating, proper brushing techniques, and then things to expect as you go along the process. And starting right at 6 months, it's every 6 months after that.
I was asking Bridget with the baby, I said, you know, it's so convenient, not for her because she's feeding the baby, but like for us as a family. I'm like, man, why can't we just like feed the baby milk forever, you know? But she's like, well, the baby needs protein as she gets older. I was like, this baby is clean right now. She don't have any Dr. Pepper in her, none of that Coke Zero, because I drink that like crazy. She don't have any Burger King in her. I mean, she is a clean, untoxified baby, man. She is clean, pure baby, untoxified, man. Another question from George. Hey, I met George. This is cool, man. I met George on a flight. Where were we at, George? This was last week. Where did I go, man? ADD's kicking in. Where was I at last week? We were playing basketball up at, man, I'm losing it, man. Chicago. We were at Chicago. I was flying to Chicago. I met George on the airplane. We became friends. And he's known as Santa George down in Houston, man. Santa George. He celebrates Christmas all year long. I'm not joking, man. He really does celebrate Christmas. Like, he is a Santa Claus.
Really?
And he has been a Santa Claus for some pretty famous Houston Astros players. And we just started talking, had a great conversation. But George is saying, does the teeth whitening cause teeth sensitivity? I talked about that earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it can. And it varies from individual to individual. And basically, you just have to kind of assess how it affects you. There's anti-sensitivity toothpaste that you can use in conjunction with the bleaching if you're experiencing sensitivity. But, I mean, yes, it does. It can cause some sensitivity. But, bleaching is a tool that we use it's a cosmetic tool that we use to brighten your smile. And it's a good tool in our arsenal of dentistry.
Awesome. We got time for one more question. If you've got that question, make sure to get it to. We're running out of time. 8 minutes. Doctor's got to get to work here. And we got a lot of people ready to get their teeth worked on here, here today. So we got to get out of here right at 9. But if you got one more question, send that in. We're going to take another very brief break. When we come back, we got a little bit of trivia coming your way. I'm going to talk more about what you can expect on this show and how we're also going to hope to be a blessing to many nonprofits right here in our backyard in Huntsville, Texas. So make sure to stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville with Rob Hipp and my good friend and co-host, Dr. Curtis Pressley. We'll be right back. Stay with us. All right, friends, we're back at it here for the last segment on Good Morning Huntsville. I'm Rob Hipp here with Dr. Curtis Pressley, Huntsville Family Dental. Where are you guys located, man? Right off 45. There may be somebody today saying, I want to get over there. I need to call. How can folks get in touch with you in your dental office?
We're on Collard Road here, right across the highway, 45, right here in Huntsville.
Awesome. And I think y'all's website, I should have known this, Huntsville Family Dental. You can find them online at HuntsvilleTXDental.com. Is that right? Yeah,
yes,
Huntsville. I want to make
sir.
sure, man. 'Cause sometimes them ads pop up. HuntsvilleTXDental.com. And I wanted to say thank you just to you and your office. Y'all been long-time advertisers on KSAM as well. And we had an opportunity to promote y'all even more through this show. And I didn't want to just have a show where it was just me, because people don't want to listen to me. They want to listen to people in the community. And so that's where I kind of wanted to talk about. We've got opportunities. We still have 7 more co-host sponsors. So maybe you're a business here in Huntsville. You said, this will be a lot of fun. I'd like to talk about my business. I'd like to talk about the good things happening in Huntsville, Texas. Reach out to me. You can email me, robhipp@gmail.com. That's ROBHIPP@gmail.com. We're also going to use the power of radio to help promote this as well on KSAM. So a lot of great opportunities. It works really well for Huntsville Family Dental because not only is Dr. Pressley now on this show, and we do it twice a month here at his office, but they also have radio ads running during the day as well. And so that advertising is all about top of mind, getting your name out there, getting your name out there, getting your name out there. You can hear them on KSAM 101.7 90s at noon country. They've sponsored that for a long time. So again, it's all about that additional exposure. If you just want to do the show, that's great. We can have sponsors for that, but I also encourage folks, do like Huntsville Family Dental, as they've got daily promotions going on the radio. People know about them in this community because the power of radio works, and now we're able to do this show and have a lot of fun. with that being said, too, if you're a nonprofit, man, and you talked earlier about going to other countries and serving the needs of people there with dental that don't have access to it, maybe there's nonprofits right here in our community. I want to encourage you to reach out to me. I'd love to have you on as a guest along with our co-host. I know this is our first show here, but as we continue out, my goal is to have a show literally almost every day, Monday through Friday throughout the month. We're going to do them in the mornings. If you're a nonprofit, I want to feature you on that show as well. You can interact with our co-host. We want to bring awareness to what your nonprofit is doing in this community. So please reach out to me and let me know what's going on there. Hey, I want to have some fun real quick, Dr. Pressley, before we go. A little February trivia quiz. I did not review the questions, so if there's something that I read and then I'm like, oh, I should have not said that, then we won't, then just kind of scratch that. This is a good one, though, man.
Okay.
Here it is, February, and folks out there listening, join us in on this as well, man. And just to let you know, don't judge Dr. Presley's dental ability on trivia ability, okay?
Right.
Or my radio ability on trivia, okay? Here we go. February was called Solmanath. I never even heard of that. So February was called Solmanath by the Anglo-Saxons. What does this mean? Does it mean mud month, new year, new beginning, or winter end? Mud month, new year, new beginning, or winter end?
Can we call a lifeline?
Yeah, we don't have any life. Nicole, what do you think? Nicole's over here. She's just chilling. I'm going to say mud month just because that sounds off the wall. Mud month.
Mud month.
Mud month, all right?
Let's go with mud month.
Let's go down here and see what the answer is. It is mud month.
Mud
They're
month.
also referred to this month as kale month. The answers are right there at the bottom, and we'll see them all. So we're going to go through and answer these, then we'll look at the answers. All right, man?
Okay.
Because that's kind of cheating now. What is the birthstone for February? Is it amethyst? Man, that's a hard one. Amethyst? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Sapphire, emerald, or ruby? The birthstone for February. What do you think, Nicole? Birthstone for February. Sapphire. Amethyst is what I'm going to go for.
Okay.
All right, final answer. We're going to get to these. All right, we're going to do 10 of them because there's 15. If you were born on the 6th of February, what would your zodiac sign be? Aquarius, Taurus, Cancer, or Leo? I don't know those.
I don't know
man.
the signs.
Taurus.
Taurus?
Did you ever drive a Ford Taurus?
Yeah, I remember them.
Remember that? Those cars were. Do they still make those, man?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Is it Taurus? I don't know if you're in Texas like Taurus, and if you're like somewhere up in the Northeast, Taurus.
Taurus?
I drive the Ford Taurus. I'm going to say Taurus just because it sounds like a fun word. What is the flower for the month of February? Violet, gardenia. Am I saying that right?
Gardenia.
Gardenia. Gardenia. That sounds like lily or sunflower. I'm going to say violet.
I'm going to go with gardenia.
Gardenia. Sounds like something. Man, I just went over there and visited Gardenia. She's such a nice lady. She cooks me some sweet tea and just makes me some biscuits, Gardenia. Which awards show normally occurs at the end of February? Tony Awards, Academy Awards, Grammy Awards, or Golden Globes?
Academy, right?
Academy?
Yeah.
Academy, all right. I'm going to say Golden Globes just to be different. Which fruit is recognized in the month of February? This is like, you better recognize my fruit, man. You better recognize banana, strawberry, apple, or blueberry. Which one you got, Dr. Presley? We're going to have to cut it short. We're going to have one more question. Blueberry. All right, I'm going to say banana. And then here, we got to go because it's 8:59. Which legendary character is recognized on the 12th of February? Paul Bunyan, Johnny Appleseed, Peter Parker, or William Tell? I'm going to say Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed. There was like a joke when you were a kid. He put the pot on his pan and like, I don't even know where that came from, man. All right, let's go over the answers. So the first one, mud month, amethyst. Did you say that?
I think we did say
amethyst. Was the rock. Aquarius is the sign that begins in January, ends in the middle of February. Violet. Did you say violet, Nicole? What'd you say, Doctor?
I didn't say violet.
Oh, you said gardenia.
Yeah.
Gardenia cooks some good biscuits, I'll tell you. Academy Awards. Y'all got that one right. I went with Golden Globes just because I knew it was wrong. Banana. I said that one. Yeah, you know what? So February recognizes the banana, also recognizes the avocado. You better recognize that banana. And then Paul Bunyan, we both got that one wrong, man.
No
Many
Johnny
claim.
Appleseed.
No Johnny Appleseed. Well, hey, man, it's been a fun one. You're going to be back in about a week or 2 weeks from today. So week after next.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back here, Huntsville Family Dental. At that point, we'll probably have a nonprofit to talk to. And we can bring you in on remote, talk to you, so you'll be able to interact with Dr. Pressley and I. And then I promise we're going to talk about events happening in Huntsville. This was just kind of our original getting ready, getting started show. I told Dr. Presley you get to be the guinea pig today, and it's been a lot of fun, man. We've had a blast. So I want to thank again everybody for joining us. My beautiful fiance Bridget joining us. Joshua Hare, he said the Taurus is in May, by the way.
Okay.
Appreciate him. And a lot of other folks. I mean, at one point we had about 32 people at once joining us. So we're going to continue this show. Make sure to like the KSAM Facebook page, 1017 KSAM. You'll be able to enjoy this show as we have it, as it comes along, and we'll have those show dates. As we fill sponsors, we're not going to have a show if we don't have a sponsor. Right now, still looking for 7 more sponsors. So already 3 shows times 2, which is 6. So 6 shows locked in a month. We got 14 more to fill. You can be on that. So again, I want to thank you. Thanks for joining us here. Make sure to follow us again, 1017 FM KSAM. Dr. Pressley, any final comments from you, man, before we go?
No, man, I appreciate you having me today.
Thank you, my friend. Check them out, Huntsville Family Dental. You can find them here in Huntsville, Texas. Come by, get your teeth looked at, take care of your dental health. I want to remind you, as I end every single broadcast, friends, today, that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there today needs you. Good morning, and God bless. We'll see you soon. Have a great day, everyone.